Welcome to the Market My STR Show, the show made exclusively for short-term rental owners and co-hosts that actually works, so you can stop wasting time and money on short-term rental and co-hosting marketing strategies that don't work. Listen in for tips, tricks, and our book-solid, move-the-needle, and core-4 marketing strategies. Here's your host, Scott Hill.
Hi, and welcome to the Market My STR Show. This is our first episode, so you got to start somewhere, right? So the thing about our first episode I think we want to make sure we do is explain why we're doing it and a couple other things that might help you get a really good idea of what this podcast or show might be able to do to help you in your journey of short-term rental ownership and co-hosting. So for the last couple years, I have partnered with Bill Faeth, who brought me into this industry because he needed a solution for him and for himself and his community to have a marketing software solution that served short-term rental owners. He had been using a bunch of different apps, and when he heard that we might be able to put something sort of in an all-in-one place, he got interested. And we went and started a beta group, and then we launched, and sort of the rest is history at that point. Bill and I got to know each other. We can tell that story. I'd like to have Bill on at some point. But the reason why the Market My STR show exists is because we have, up until this point, really been focusing on short-term rental owners and how to help them get more direct bookings. Along the way, we have started to help co-host. And because we're sort of a lot further along with our strategies and the way the features on our platform help short-term rental owners, we are really going to focus a lot for the next couple of, let's say months. And you're going to see by our content that this is really going to be focused on co-host for a couple reasons. But what I first want to do is I want to go over sort of the who, what, where, when stuff about the podcast. Try to keep this as short as possible so you understand why we're doing it, and explain, and share with you a couple episode ideas we have, and then we'll just go from there. So I think I've done a decent job of welcoming you and kind of giving you an intro of what we are and what the Market My STR show is. Here's why we're doing it. It's one of the motivations, or I think things that's going to be really valuable, is I, as a result of being the founder of Market My STR, have gotten the bug for co-hosting, and I've decided to partner up with a guy named Jeremy Levine to start a co-hosting business called Altvere. And the reason why this is important is we are going to basically do what would be similar to a documentary series about the launch and growth of our co-hosting business. And the reason why that's so critical is because as we go along, we are going to lean on and build our entire business on the Market My STR platform. So everything that we build in there, we're just going to share with everybody in the Market My STR community. So you have it. If you want to use it, you can use it. And the great news about that is we've got two really good resources. We've got using it as a resource, the failures and the successes that come with using each of these elements of an entire sales funnel and all the features that are part of Market My STR. And we obviously have Bill Faeth. So Bill, one of the whys that we're doing this is recently, in the last 3 weeks, I attended and Bill hosted 2 co-host retreats down at his beautiful properties on Smith Lake. And at those co-host retreats, we committed to bringing a lot of these core funnel pieces to co-hosts that they can use. So a pitch deck, for example, a funnel where you can add a calendar to your website. That calendar takes you to an objection video. If you were at the co-host retreat, you know exactly what I'm saying, and that's probably what you're waiting for. But if you haven't, you're going to see these things start to take shape, and you're going to be able to use them. If you are listening via audio on one of the podcast platforms, this is going to be seamless to you. If you're watching me via video, you'll start to see me make sure I don't lose track of what I want to say. So bear with me on that so I get everything covered. And just to reinforce, as Altvere uses these things, as we lean on Bill for advice, we are going to turn these into templates and strategies that you can just simply plug and play in your business. Or if you want to start a co-hosting business, it's going to be really easy to follow us along and just sort of be 1 or 2 steps behind us and moving along. That's the way we feel about our business when we compare to a Dan Colone who's going to be a guest on our show, or a Joe Roney who's going to be a guest, or a Michael Sade, or even a Bill Faeth, right? These 4 people are ahead of us, some way ahead of us, right? But they're ahead of us. So we're following in their footsteps. You are welcome to follow in our footsteps as we go along and tell the story, the successes, the failures, and all of that. So who is going to be on the show? Well, I'll be the host. Jeremy Levine will be on the show a lot. He's my partner in Altair, and we will just be talking through what we're doing on a day-by-day, week-by-week basis, kind of giving you the highs and lows of what we're doing and sharing with you all the things that we're doing that either we want to avoid or we want to continue doing. And that will hopefully give you, each of you who are maybe going or want to go down this journey of being a co-host or a small property manager, some really valuable advice and techniques and strategies and all that stuff to help you grow your business. But one of the main resources we're going to have, and hopefully Bill will be on the show once or twice. I'm not sure Bill even knows about this yet, but hopefully we're going to convince him to be on a show a couple of times. And then also, I already mentioned it, but guys like Dan and Joe and Michael and others who are doing it every day, and how they're, some of the strategies, some of the secrets that they have that they're going to be willing to share, but just also just a Q&A, like ask them, what are you guys doing that is making your business grow so much? So that's kind of the who. The how is we are going to be available by video on our private Facebook group, our public Facebook page, YouTube channel, and then we're going to be available wherever you listen to podcasts, through Spotify for creators account we have, and we're recording this if you are curious through an app called Riverside. The next thing I want to cover is, what are we going to cover in our episodes? And so here are some working titles we have. I'm not saying they'll come out this way, but in an effort to be, have some hooks, these are some of the things we're thinking about. The first episode is going to be what we're calling right now the Altair experiment. It's how are we going to build a minimum $10 million co-host business in less than 5 years. Now, I like the fact that I'm out here saying this because it holds me accountable. If I'm saying it out here in public and everybody's hearing it, then I have no choice but to really try to do this. I'm putting Jeremy on the line. He knows this, but we're putting each other on the line, and we're holding each other accountable because we are very confident that we're going to have some success, and this is our goal. When I mean $10 million, I mean booking revenue on behalf of clients, but that is a major part of our strategy. Who are going to be our clients? What kind of booking revenue do they have per property? So we can have a very manageable number of clients instead of trying to get to hundreds. I've got here from 0 to 30A, which is kind of a play on words. 30A is one of the markets we're going to be in. So it's going to be our origin story, our 100-day blitz, which is one of the things that has come out of Bill's co-hosting retreat. He challenged everybody at that retreat to be a person of interest and do a 100-day blitz of marketing, and he called it the 100-day marketing plan, and we're following it. So we're going to show you that we're following it. We're going to show you the videos we're releasing, how we did it, what we used, all that stuff in order to put us in, to do post-launch, to get us in the business and get us talking to potential clients. I've got a working title called Bill Faeth Unplugged. He is our co-host expert, and ask him to kind of reveal some of the things he's doing, his plans. He's got a new luxury co-hosting model that he's unveiling. We can talk to him about that and what he's doing, the kind of progress he's making there. And then we want to have a series of episodes called the Co-host Success Story. And I'm calling this part 1. I've already told Dan that I'd like to have Dan appear here. Dan has been instrumental in a co-hosting pod in Bill's Inner Circle group, so I'd like to have him on. And then here's some other episode ideas: digital credibility, building your co-host brand that converts, the arsenal, every marketing asset you're ever going to need, plus templates. So as we build them out and use them, we're going to share them, as I said. The funnel that books clients, hunting for gold, 90 days post-launch. So we really launched, Jeremy and I kind of defined our launches right after the co-host retreat, so that was 2 weeks ago. So we're going to time this from then to 90 days. That'll get us really close to being through the 100-day marketing plan that Bill challenged us on. So we'll see what the results of those things are, and how we held ourselves accountable, how we failed, just all of it. and then another episode with Joe on the co-host success. I gotta nail him down. What we've learned about co-hosting, part 1. So the series on what we're learning about co-hosting, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So just to kind of give you an idea, those are episodes we're planning out, and I hope, how often are we going to do it is kind of the next question you might be asking. I hope to do at least one per week. We would like to accelerate, and as we accelerate and really move fast, I think that will create a lot of possible content, and that's where we're going to want to share things with you more often because we're just going faster. And again, the good news is once it's out there, you can listen to these episodes on demand, so whenever you want to, in other words. And so hopefully we'll have that, those resources and that library of episodes and things will start to grow so that you have access to that stuff. And then, this is the end of what I wanted to talk about for the first episode. So I hope this is interesting to you. I hope you find it to be something that you might want to tune in for, if nothing else, to get ideas how to get more direct bookings, because we will do a lot of that. Once we get through sort of this big bulk push of delivering on promises we made to co-hosts, then we're going to dial in, because part of co-hosting is getting bookings for the clients we have. So there'll be a lot of general Market My STR strategies that we're testing. So if you can imagine, as we grow a co-hosting business, then we'll get our first client, and then what are we doing to, book the calendar solid for them? That is going to apply and appeal to every short-term rental owner. So I hope you guys understand that there's going to be a lot of content in, specifically if you're just a short-term rental owner with a portfolio. To be honest, I would get excited that even though we're using words like co-hosting, and this is geared to like you are a business. If you're not a co-host, and let's say you have your own portfolio of 15 properties, well, you're just like a co-host, right? You are the owner of a business that is motivated to book the calendars of each of your properties as much as you can. The only thing you're not going to do is you're obviously not going to have a calendar with a funnel that is looking to get new clients. If you do grow, and you're doing it the way you're currently doing it, then you'll just add a property. But everything else will apply. It's how do you build a website, a portfolio website, which is what we're going to do as a co-host. How you build the direct booking strategies for each of the properties and tell a different story for each property. That's what we're going to do. There's a lot of similarities that we hope that you can get a lot out of. So until next time, until the next episode, which will happen within days, I can't wait to get this going, and I can't wait to build friendships and help you guys leverage your businesses. And I hope that, and wish you the best, and pray that you guys have success in your business, which leads you to be able to live that kind of life that hope that we can live. And it's just all stuff that's really personal to me. But one of the things that is near and dear to me is having freedom. And having freedom means having a successful business that I sort of control or have ownership over, which allows me to have some flexibility. So wish you the best. Look forward to doing the next episode, and we will see you soon. Take care.